Okay, so now we've got our container table and check that we've got all our assets set up correctly, we can start to add our navigation system. So let's get into Dreamweaver. So we want to add our navigation system at the top of the web page. If you've got a logo that's going above your buttons, as I mentioned in the previous video, you may want to add your navigation system into the second row so that you can add your logo into the top row. For us, we're going to put the logo in the left hand side here and then the buttons along the top. So I'm going to add this navigation system into the top row. So I need to select that and then just go to Insert and Table. So for this one, we want to have less rows and more columns. So we're going to go with one row just to make it sit in the row that we're in. And we're going to go with 6 columns. So this 6 columns is made up of one logo and 5 buttons. So depending on whether your logo is sitting next to your buttons and depending on how many buttons you have, you may want to set the column number to something different. So say you had 3 buttons and a logo, you would set it to 4 columns. So one logo and 3 buttons. The table width we're going to set to 1024 so it matches up, and we just want to check that the border thickness is still 0 because we don't want any borders on these. Okay, so just press OK, and you can see now that the table's been created. It will automatically be selected, and you can see here in the breadcrumb system this is the main table, and if you click on it it will select that, and this is our nested table they're called. For our navigation system. So first thing we want to do is just like we did with the main table, is just center align it. So you should have your properties down at the bottom, and then what we want to do is align the row as well. So we're just going to highlight the row, so remember, just left click and drag over all the cells that you're trying to do. And you can see here horizontal and vertical have appeared. We're looking at the table row breadcrumb. So horizontal, we're just going to set to center as well, so everything centers when we insert our buttons and logo. And on vertical, I'm going to set this to bottom. That's because I want the buttons to align with the bottom of the logo. Now, when you insert all of your content, you may decide that it looks a bit silly or you want to change it around a bit. So you can always come back and change this later. But for now, I'm going to set it to bottom because my logo has a greater pixel height than the buttons. So I want the buttons to sort of sit in line with the bottom of the logo. So set it to bottom to start off with and then see how you get on. Okay, so that is our navigation system table set up. So go on to the next video to have a look at how to insert your logo and your buttons.